figure out what music to play before I change scenes. It's just not how I do things, though. Guess we'll do this playlist. Okay. Checking the levels. I need the song to get loud, though. Okay. In the meantime. Oh. A little quieter. Probably better. Okay, so until we get a question, let's plug away at linear algebra for no particular reason. I really should learn the construction of the real numbers. I should work on that in my downtime at some point. For today, I think I'll stick with the linear algebra though. So I guess we're talking about lists. We have R2, R3, yada yada yada. If we want to generalize higher dimensions, we need lists. Hey, Anti-King. Yeah, I haven't read much of it. I'm only 5 pages in, but I've been wanting to learn a bit more linear algebra, and so this seems like a popular resource. Okay, suppose n is a non-negative integer. The list of length n is an ordered collection of n elements, including 0 elements. Only JEE questions allowed today? I would die. Hi, Joseph. It might be dangerous, but I tried taking off sub-only mode on YouTube again, but I changed my title, so if YouTube gets out of control again, I'll turn sub-only mode back on, but hopefully we're not flooded this time. But okay, two lists are equal if and only if they have the same length and the same elements in the same order. Lists are often written as elements separated by commas, surrounded by parentheses. List of length n and n tuple. So I wonder if they're going to eventually call things vectors or if they're going to stick with the term list. Well, they must eventually call things vectors because they're going to talk about vector spaces. Really is a great book. It's a determinant-free approach. Might not be that significant at first, but learning stuff without it really helps. Yeah, I've heard that. Like, it exiles determinants all the way to the very end. Yeah, no, I've heard other people say they don't like the approach this book takes either. Not necessarily because of determinants, but because of other like theoretical reasons. But do you stream when it's? Oh, I stream when it's your time to sleep. I'm sorry, Rogue Mind. I just stream when it's convenient for me though. I'm sorry that's not good timing for you, Joseph. I know a good amount of linear algebra. I've been interested for a long time to learn. Like I've taken one introduction to linear algebra class during my bachelor's. And then during my master's, I ran into more advanced linear algebra naturally, but I didn't take a very like comprehensive class about it, and I've been wanting to learn deeper linear algebra for a while. So I'm not particularly putting much effort into learning more advanced linear algebra right now. It's just kind of like when there's downtime on stream, and there's hardly been any downtime. But I don't know. If you stream when it's your time to sleep, it's simply not your time to sleep. Yeah. Best books on linear algebra you've read weren't about linear algebra. Yeah, so like at some point it just gets folded into regular algebra books, as far as I understand. I really I've had a hard time enjoying like abstract algebra in general though. Not even, oh, I guess you're probably talking about like a more applied or engineering books. I forgot. That I forgot that you're on like the applied end. These abstract things really well. Define vectors late. That's why it first defines what a list is. Okay. Yeah, I guess vectors aren't necessarily just lists of numbers. That's probably the point that they're going to make. Each has a finite length, non-negative integer. List of length 0 looks like this. You consider such an object to be a list so that some of our theorems will not have trivial exceptions. Really? I would think that this would introduce trivial exceptions, allowing 0 length, but maybe not. My favorite math branch to study? I would say differential equations, anti-king in general. I really enjoy applied math. I have a master's in it. And I love like simulating things with differential equations or like modeling things. Having read an abstract algebra book before, you got a few to apply books that build everything off the foundations of vector spaces. Okay. Yeah, like I definitely want to learn about like the different decompositions. I assume this book goes into them. I didn't really check what this book goes into, but it probably doesn't emphasize decompositions. But I bet it must cover them in some way. But yeah, like principal component analysis and like the SVD are really cool stuff. And actually, I lied. I've done an introduction to linear algebra class during my undergrad, but I also did the MIT OpenCourseware linear algebra class like last year to prepare for my master's, and that did go a lot deeper than my bachelor's class. But I still want to know more. Yeah, and I think like it's really neat how the SVD, it's really just the eigenvalue decomposition for a symmetric matrix. Like if you understand eigenvalue decomposition, you understand the SVD with you just need one small leap forward. Did something last night with gold. Oh, cool, cool. Okay, so list versus sets. The list 3, 5, and 5, 3 are not equal. Sure, but those sets are equal. Yep, that makes sense. Oh, I mean, sure. Would you call these sets though? Like these aren't properly defined. I don't know. Maybe they are. Hey Leo, you're super sleepy again. You're gonna try to say awakers. Good luck. I did watch the entire video. I haven't watched your update video yet, but the entire hour and 40 minutes, and um yeah, no worries. I was I thought that your take on so what we're I guess maybe for the rest of chat I should say what Leo's video was about. Leo made a long video essay on AI and math and the relationship between them in light of oh my god, open AI. I think it was open AI at least having a major result in math with disproving the Erdos unit distance conjecture. Um and so yeah, Leo, I thought your take was it was more optimistic than I thought it would be in terms of AI probably won't replace humans entirely, or at least not in the next 5 to 10 years. The stupid translate thing is telling me I wrote you. Yeah, I don't know. Tesla's 123.100000001. If a video secretly 12 minutes long plus an interview tacked on. Oh, okay. Um, but yeah, it's kind of I think it mirrors uh really closely the role of AI in art, where at least in the short term, it's well, I guess art has a more severe problem, I think, but um there is going to be a lot of like art that'll just or AI will be a lot more of a tool for experienced artists to create even better art. And a lot of companies will cheap out and just try not to pay artists at all and just use AI art, but the good ones will equip artists, real artists, with AI tools, I think. Really? I don't know. Hey Quantum, I'm doing well. How about you? Let me catch up with what Burt Rascals is saying. Mainly learned it from the book I'm reading now from independent study. My professor told me I should be sure I'm familiar with SVD. It's pretty useful. Machine learning. Yes. Actually, is it in machine learning? Maybe it is. Pseudo inverses. True. True. A lot of machine learning just comes down to solving linear systems, basically. Um, Maybe the SVD is helpful in that. I don't remember now. Oh, they do have the same thumbnail. I mean, almost just with text. And then let me see what Leo's saying about AI and art. In art, you want to express something unique to the individual, whereas the math, it doesn't matter where the information comes from. You do things slowly, AI use will become common and legitimate in art. Because essential pushback or cultural pushback, it will be slow. I I guess I'm talking about the impact on the profession, the impact on the profession of being an artist and the impact of being a mathematician as a profession are going to be similar. But I do agree, like art and math are different, but actually math will probably become more like art as a result of AI, which is kind of what you were saying too, where about appreciating math for its aesthetic value. Started doing limits. Oh, cool, quantum apex. If you want to talk about those with me, let me know. Um, and so yeah, you only mentioned it really briefly, but like computers have been better than humans at chess for like 20 years, if not more. And humans still play chess and learn chess, and other humans still appreciate watching those humans play chess. So there ought to be like some sort of role for humans to do math too, I think, for a similar reason. The hiring within academia will be an interesting thing because largely it's to teach people math. One whereas if teaching people for math will shrink drastically. Maybe. Hey Piyush. First chapter of the book, I can't find the rest of it for free online. I have special skills for finding books if I want to find them. Let's see. Find dimensional. Ooh. Actually, this book looks sick. I've only read the first two chapters of the table of contents. Wavelets are really fun. Okay, yeah, I kind of love this book already. This covers all the fun stuff in applied math. You okay. It's probably not very deeply though. These are really you could write entire books on just one of these chapters. Okay, I'm glad the asymptotic analysis gets a couple of chapters because it kind of needs that. Yeah, this looks like a great book though, Breasticles. If you can find a pseudo inverse matrix, inverse form matrix, you can find a solutions. That's definitely helpful for machine learning, also for data compression, if you remember correctly. Oh, probably, yeah. Read through like chapter 5 or so. It's super well written. Cool. Swinging pendulum, vibrating stream, vibrating rod. Noise. I'm from America, Piyush. I do think the wiles hold up in your office. Doing hard math without aid from LM's a thing of the past. Probably. Type of thing you only do for sport motivation like chess, but now it's so clearly slower, likely to be sniped, unverifiable that you did it on your own anyway. You can write a textbook today, but then you're a sleeper than Snorlax. You need someone to show up with that flute. Oh, nice, Quantum Apex. Good luck. Weak in math, doing calculation, all the basic things, how to improve it. Piyush, unfortunately, it's just a lot of practice and hard work. There's not a trick to it, really. You know about the flute? Yeah. I played, which one did I play? That was Generation 1, right? First off. I think I played, it would have been in like, oh, I forget if it was Ruby Red or Leaf Green that I had. Maybe I had Leaf Green. But yeah, I initially played like the more recent like remakes of them. By more recent, I still mean like 20 years ago, but it is Gen 1. Yeah. Um you know the trick just ain't telling us true. Yeah, and so I will get to this your update video too, Leo. B minus I was born in 97. I don't know when Gen 1 came out. Build off that first chapter, vector spaces built into function spaces, then integral equations, calculus variations. Yeah, because I really would love to learn about like Hamilton spaces or whatever they're called, stuff like that. I was born in 2000. No, I realized 1997 is only 3 years before the year 2000. But if someone was born in the year Hilbert spaces, thank you. If someone has 2000 in their birth year, I think that they're like a child. Hey, below the recorder. Oh, well, was it actually a recorder and not a flute? Yeah, Hilbert spaces. It was literally like listed in that book too, and I just forgot it already. Yeah, so I've learned about them in a very narrow context. It was like kernel reproducing Hilbert spaces, which are helpful for machine learning. But I want to learn about them in general because they're also useful in like PDs, I think too, right? So, something like that. It's about computer science. GM joined this branch in college. He had a bit of knowledge about the basis of Java and Python. I mean, it's a great field to get into, Quantum Apex. It is pretty saturated. Like, yeah, like it can be competitive to try to find jobs with it if that's your goal. But if it's what you're interested in, you should pursue it. Like, I think you should start with where your interests are. How many computers it take to cross the other side? Depends. I don't know. I was trying to figure out a joke with AI, but I couldn't think of a good one. These effing fields. Am I right? To define higher dimensional analogs of R2 and R3, simply replace R with F, which equals R or C. Replace 2 or 3 with arbitrary positive integer. Also, now we don't like having a 0. Fix a positive integer n for the rest of this chapter. Fn is set of all lists of length n of elements of F. Makes sense. Freezing and dead sounds. I was waiting for the laugh track to play, and it never did play. Neuroscience plus neuroinformatics would be sick, but brain too small. Oh, like you want to study that, Bilo? I mean, I would hope that you've at least tried. So it's better to like try and fail to do something than to just like never try at all. Yeah, those are both like cool things. Quantum, I have a master's in applied math. He wants to say other people's brains are too small. He wants to study big things. Actually, what animal has the biggest brain? Is it a whale? The sperm whale, according to the AI. To not trust AI, though. 7.8 kilograms? That's like 15-ish pounds, probably more. There you go. Well, people saying orangutan. I wonder if that's like relative to body mass. I'd be surprised. I would assume that relative to body mass, humans would be the biggest. I don't know. Yeah, if you want some big brains, just focus on sperm whales, I guess. And ODEs. It's a function space, like the solution space of an ODE, for example, is a Hilbert space, which leads to the idea of characteristic equations for ODEs. Oh, sure, yeah. Determining eigenvalues, eigenfunctions for a derivative operator. Create an orthogonal base for a solution space that represent any solution in that space as a linear combination. Yes! I learned about that a little bit for PDEs. But it was such like a scratching the surface introduction, I don't feel like I really know it. But we talked a lot about like the eigenfunctions of the Laplacian operator. You know what's the biggest brain? It's that dog in me. You got that dog in you. Getting 2 gigs of knowledge and 2-bit memory storage. I think it's just a human thing. Oh no, I see what you mean with like India's exams being so difficult. Yeah, that is true. I'm sorry you have to deal with that, Quantum. Those exams seem difficult. C4, the most explosive set. It's a set of all lists of all 4 complex numbers. Not all 4 complex. There's only 4 total complex numbers. No, of 4 complex numbers. Read Flatland, A Romance of Many Dimensions. That's okay. For an amusing account of how R3 would be perceived by creatures living in R2. Huh. Maybe imagine a physical space of 4 or more dimensions. I never heard of this. I've heard of people like thinking about if there could be a living creature in 2 dimensions, but can't really conceive of one as far as I know. 1 minus 1i minus I? I mean, yeah, those are like the units, right? You don't like its notation for complex numbers? What about it? If n greater than or equal to 4, we cannot visualize Rn as a physical object. Similarly, C1 can be thought of as a plane, n greater than or equal to 2, human brain cannot provide a full image of Cn, sure. Isn't like letters, you know? That would be fair. However, even if n is large, you can perform algebraic manipulations of fn as easily as R2 or R3. For example, in addition, fn is defined as follows. Okay, yeah. Should be little emojis. Sounds good, Quantum. For me, it's 3:05 in the afternoon. Sleep well, Quantum. To be fair, Leo, there is a streamer here on Twitch, x+pi, aka Zach, who actually does use emojis for like function names and stuff like that. So there are people who actually feel that way. The bar, because CN implies. Oh, yeah, you're talking about like the doubled C. Yeah, that can definitely be confusing. It's like I've heard it's math cal or math BB. in LaTeX, but yeah. Roguemind, you can post a trigonometry question if you want. I don't know if I can do it, but you can post it. In this context, it's pretty clear what they mean, though. This book is almost certainly not going to get into, like, differentiable functions. Konnichiwa, Fembox fan son. Fembox fan son. Fembox son. Just replace the F with an S, I guess? I don't know. Often the mathematics of Fn becomes cleaner if we use a single letter to denote a list of n numbers, explicitly writing the coordinates. So does stated in x and y in Fn, even though it requires some notation of that. Commutativity, yeah, sure. Who cares? What an annoying proof. So when you start doing stuff with functions, complex numbers, yeah, that's fair enough, Bressicles. Nobody ever Konnichiwa's my ass. I'm sorry no one Konnichiwa's your ass, Leo. I hope you find someone who do that one day. The single letter is used to denote an element of Fn. Same letter with appropriate subscripts is often used when coordinates must be displayed. What? If x is in Fn, letting x equal as this is good notation. Okay. This feels a little over prescriptive, but sure. Notation 0. Let's 0. Oh, okay. I wish this was a special 0. Like, I wish they bolded it or something. But I guess we'll just have to know that. I guess it matches. They don't do anything special for x and y. Okay. I guess this is what you do when you do advanced math. X is always a vector, so you don't bother bolding it. Gotta save ink? True. Here we use 0 symbol 2 different ways. On the left side equation above, 0 denotes a list of length n. On the right side, 0 denotes a number. Potentially confusing practice actually causes no problems because the context should always make clear which 0 is intended. Context determines which 0 is intended. Okay, fine. Do I have to get a Twitter? Someone in my comments asked if I have one. You don't want to? No, I have a Twitter, but I hardly use it. Wait, so if I commented saying you should, like, make a Discord server and get a Windows PC, would you do that too? Picture can aid our intuition. Draw pictures in R2, clean sketch of space. Okay, yep. I want to get to the good stuff, but I don't want to skip this. But you might make a Twitter. Okay. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of, like, math Twitter is a niche. I don't know very much about it, but there are a lot of people who post, like, you know, here's an interesting thing that I'm playing with, or here's a thought that I've had about math, and, like, there's a lot of discussion that happens there. Twitter is the modern 4chan. 4chan's a lot wilder than Twitter, but Twitter has definitely gotten a lot wilder. Another little circle to click and check. That's fair, yeah. And you already have a good thing going just the way you're set up right now anyway, so. Aside from, you know, the whole not dual streaming thing. I don't know how you do it on Mac, though. I'd never like looked into it. When I think of an element of R2 as an arrow, we refer to it as a vector. Okay. When vectors in R2 as arrows, we can move the arrow parallel to itself, not change length or direction, so with the same vector. You can better understand by dispensing with the coordinate axes and explicit coordinates, just thinking of the vector as shown in the figure here. Yeah, and this is like the math interpretation of vectors, that these two vectors are the same, but if you were doing physics, these would not be the same. I prefer a physical book below, but I prefer being cheap even more, and this book is freely available as a PDF, so I usually end up using PDFs, which I don't mind that much, but there's something nice about just like a physical textbook. Do I ever wish I was a fish? No, being a fish sounds kind of scary. Like, you have to always watch your back if you're a fish. You're never safe. Like, yeah, no. And also, like, the humans are fucking up the oceans and the lakes where fish live, so. No, I'll stay here on land. But Olympics physicals Aura Farm. I can't talk. Anyone who comes over to my crib. I mean, that sounds cool. They do tend to take up a lot of space really quickly, though. And also, it can end up having the same issue as like a Steam library, where you end up owning way more books than you could ever read. You just have a shelf full of like unread books, which is a shame. People are fish? I mean, if you go back far enough, yeah. Whenever these pictures in R2 are used somewhat vague language points and vectors, remember these are just aids for understanding, not substitutes for actual mathematics we will develop. We cannot draw pictures of high-dimensional spaces. These spaces are as regularly defined as elements of R2. Sure. The elements of the economy can have thousands of variables which work in R5000. Such a space cannot be dealt with geometrically. Is that true? I feel like that's not, that can't be true exactly. I mean, you can't draw it, but like, you can have geometric ideas. The algebraic approach works well. Our subject is called linear algebra. For example, this is an element of R5. We can refer to it as a point in R5 or a vector in R5 without worrying about what the geometry of R5 has any physical meaning. A lot of books probably wouldn't ever be able to read. But you get to Aura Farm, which is always good. If sharks are fish and salmon are fish, people have to be fish. Because salmon are more closely related to us than they are to sharks. I don't know if I buy that. What is the definition of fish? Not AI. An aquatic animal. That's something about genetics. Like, I think a fish is a place that you live. Well, yeah. Jejun? What the hell is Jejun? Anyway, any of numerous cold-blooded strictly aquatic craniate vertebrates include bony fishes. They need to gain some weight. The cartilaginous and jawless fishes. Typically have an elongated somewhat... Dude, it's too many words. This dictionary has too many words for me. Jejun is an adjective. You're eating this very jejun fish? Wait, what does jejun mean? Devoid of significance or interest. Oh. It's a very boring fish. Oh yeah, and I would not want to be a fish, Leo, because I feel like fish are never safe. You're always worried about getting eaten by a bigger fish, and humans are fucking up your habitat. So, yeah. I got a few books I bought that are just insanely hard to read. Fair enough. Fish can never invent diesel trucks. Do you read math books way above your weight class even just to skim? This is a form of putting off doing the prerequisites. I sometimes do below. Like, if you want to learn something specific, it's not a bad idea to just skip straight to that specific thing and work your way backwards for what prereqs you need to learn. You'll be way more motivated to learn those prereqs if you have a concrete reason why you're learning them for. So I'm motivated enough just to study the prereqs for their own sake. That's what I'm doing right now with linear algebra. But I would read something that's beyond me. So I didn't press a simple definition button. Like a cool exotic fish in a big tank with a TV playing 24/7. But no, I don't want to be in fish prison though. Hamiltonian dynamics. You got an interesting view about the world. That's kind of true. Like, my apartment may as well be my fish tank. Fish son. And I have had a really like it feels really weird, but like at night I keep my windows open so I can let the cool air in because it's summer and it's hot. But there's another person's like there's a window right behind my computer, and there's another person who keeps his window open, and I can see into his apartment, and I'm not trying to look, but like I just see movement, and it's like I keep looking at him. I feel like I'm a fish looking at another fish now. Crocodile daughter. It's not fish prison. Us humans barely even leave the city. Basically a glorified fish tank. I don't know. I feel like there's no way a tank could compare to the like open wide ocean or lake or wherever I'm supposed to be living. And that's also like it's by choice for a human not to leave the city usually. Like maybe you do feel trapped if you can't afford to leave the city or you don't have the means or whatever, but if you were a fish, what fish? That's a good question. I feel like freshwater fish probably have less to worry about. Like I'm imagining the ocean. Like and the ocean is terrifying. I don't want anything to do with the ocean. Unless I'm like a whale or something that doesn't have to give a fuck. I don't know what a cladis is either. Fish. They seem so innocent and harmless. Together they're subverting scientific law and order. Bum bum. What's the law and order like? I think I don't know. Nicknamed cladis for their support of a scientific classification system of species based on clades or clades. Clade is a fancy term for all of and only the modern species descended via evolution from a specific common ancestor. Okay. Picture your own family tree, your maternal grandmother, your mom, all of her siblings, and you, all of your siblings, all of your mom's sibling children. They're kind of a clade. That makes it more confusing. I thought I understood it, and now I don't understand it. Take away your siblings or add your father, though, and it's no longer a clade. What? Oh, only from a common ancestor is the point that they're making. Okay. This is where fish get into trouble. A lot of trouble. Trouble size of an elephant, a whale, and an emperor penguin all put together. All life evolved out of the water. Reptiles, mammals, birds, even dinosaurs all came from something that look pretty much like a fish. So much more diversity among what we call fish in everyday conversation, as they spread far around the outskirts of these subgroups. I think it's stupid. Why do we care? People don't understand how language works. That's okay, I guess. What kind of bear would you be? Yeah, fish, you think you'd be super cool and shiny? I don't know. Fish when I'm mental capacity to understand that I'm locked in a tank. I guess so. I mean, no, I think as a fish, you would be unhappy if you are locked in a tank, even if you don't have very much mental capacity. I feel like I'd just be content swimming around and doing nothing all day, watching people walk around and watching TV. No, I think fish in a tank actually get bored and like depressed and stuff. At least some do. Funny-ish Q. You're learning about Lipschitz order, trying to understand it better. Is it topic? Lipschitz order. I don't think I'm familiar with it. Let's Google it and find out though. Lipschitz continuity. I know a little bit about that. Is there a different thing called Lipschitz order though? Good friend to as a fish, you'll be fire. Yes, I don't know. So my understanding of Lipschitz continuity, yeah. So a function that's Lipschitz continuous is continuous and it can't change its value too quickly for some definition of too quickly. Let me actually link this Wikipedia page too. So if you're asking about a specific like piece about Lipschitz continuity, let me know, but otherwise I'll just talk about it in general. So Lipschitz continuity, if I remember right, a function that's Lipschitz continuous is differentiable almost everywhere, meaning it's differentiable everywhere except like some finite amount of isolated points. I think finite. Maybe not finite, but at least at isolated points, they're differentiable. And the reason that this works is there's some functions that aren't differentiable because their derivative blows up to infinity. And I'm thinking of something like x to the 1/3. It goes almost vertical here. Like x to the 1/3 is defined for all x, all real x. But when you take the derivative, it suddenly gets a discontinuity at 0. And I believe for that reason, or for a reason like, you know, it just kind of blows up like that. I would think this is not Lipschitz continuous. I haven't actually done the exercise of proving that it's not Lipschitz continuous, but that's my gut feeling about it. Generally, these people say the rate of change itself is bounded by a constant. Basically, yeah. You can think of it's like right here. The f of x1 minus f of x2 divided by x1 minus x2 is basically a derivative. It's not quite, because the numbers don't necessarily have, or x1, x1 don't necessarily have to be close to each other. But it's related to the derivative, like, closely enough. Wikipedia is careful in how it's stating this, but it does say every function is defined on an interval and has a bounded first derivative is Lipschitz continuous. I would assume that the like converse, or whatever the proper term is true too, that if it's Lipschitz continuous, then the first derivative is bounded. I wouldn't want to make that claim without thinking about it more for sure, but I would think that's true. Watching TV gets me so bored. Some friends does help. You think you'd want to do something. Does come to infinity there, right? Tell me your lip shits. It does. Must say awful. It does, yeah. Does derivative exist if you are lip shitting? If you locked me and my homeboys in a tank with the TV and shit for like a year or so with no financial responsibility, free food, peaceful life, I'd be happy. You don't get to, I mean, if it's your homeboys, sure. But if it's like random people who you might not like, well, actually, even then, your homeboys don't always make for good roommates either. Like, if you're a fish, are you careful about like where you poop, or just kind of poop anywhere? Like, what if one of your friends? What if you care where you poop, but your friend doesn't? Saying people aren't fish like saying ostriches aren't birds because they don't fly. This is just really like semantic though, Hamiltonian dynamics. Like, there's a difference between scientific classification and how we talk about things colloquially also. Absolute value x, Lipschitz continuous at 0. It's not differentiable at 0. Ooh, that's a fun one to think about. I would think it's Lipschitz continuous. And that's one of the... Where did we see it? That an x equals 0 is one of the sets of Lebesgue measure 0, where it's not differentiable. Hey, yeah, here we go. So you came up with the same example as Wikipedia. Ooh. I wonder if my example of x to the 1/3 was not a good example. Is x to the 1/3 Lipschitz continuous? So maybe I came up with a bad example. It's not over the entire domain. If you eliminate some 0, or some interval containing 0, then maybe. Oh wait, sorry, I was saying it's an example. Sorry. It's an example function that is not Lipschitz continuous. Sorry. No, I was right. Ugh. Yeah. If my homeboy lip shitting over the tank, I'm crashing out and eating him. Right, so you can just eat them if they start annoying you. If you don't have tank, just keep getting you new friends, so there's some cool ones. You're like the aliens in Futurama when they're watching Friends. Lur, like, why does Ross, the bigger friend, not simply eat the smaller friends? Do these come up in applied math? It came up when I was studying partial differential equations. which is in the realm of applied math, but it's pretty theory heavy as far as applied math goes. Yeah. So they do, but not like I am really aware of them coming up for differential equations, basically. There is always a bigger fish, true. So you don't piss them off until you're bigger. We have the same number of subs, do we? I refuse to lose a dick measuring contest. Oh, actually, I think I do lose. You probably have more. 1.73K. Oh no, 1.76. Okay, I'm winning by like 30 subscribers. There we go. I still win. So yeah, I'm trying to think about things that I can say about Lipschitz continuity, but I think it's everything that I know that I can think of. Yeah, I guess like for differential equations, Lipschitz continuity might be helpful if you're trying to make a statement about when some theorem holds. For like what types of functions. .03 is a big difference. I mean, depends on the scale. Hocus Pocus, everyone watching now, unsub from Dawn. Way above average, that's true. Some say .03 is even huge. So yeah, Bunny, I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any further questions. Too much, some would say, yeah. Glad to hear it. Now I'm just like reading this. Picard Lindelof. Oh, cool. So that's an example of Lipschitz continuity being applied for the existence and uniqueness of differential equations. I think ODEs. Yeah, yeah. First order ODEs, I guess. You exist and I am unique. But I thought you just said that you're me. You can't be unique if you're me, unless I'm not me. I was never me. Okay. I was always you. Okay. I better start growing out my hair. ODE and PD math expand. Yes, like analysis is very much the toolbox for differential equations. And so yeah, so I have a master's in applied math, and so I just have kind of a passing knowledge of analysis, like enough to learn the differential equations stuff. But as I understand it, at least, like once you get into like the most advanced types of analysis that people are working on is usually with the goal of helping out differential equations, as I understand it. But yeah, In case you don't already know about like the math like niche on Twitch, we do exist here, and especially x+pi, aka Zach, knows a lot of like analysis and differential equation stuff too. If you ever like similar questions in the future and I'm not like around. Bro came up with the math, I think therefore I am. That's what came to mind too. I'm not the solution to an ODE, therefore I don't exist. You better start sucking your hair back in. Yeah, don't get it cut. Just suck your hair back in. Yeah, they are. And that if you're open to it, that there are streamers over on YouTube too, like Leo. Do I still have it copy pasted? I don't. Leo's like channel. You know what? I have it here though. See, Leo, you're in that list. But like, see, I don't have that many like YouTube math streamers. I do need to watch some more of them. So I've seen you collaborate with like some people, and I need to go over and say hi in their chats at some point. You already subbed to Leo. Oh, cool. You have an analysis book on linear partial differential operators. It's the embodiment of suffering. Yeah. I forget whose book it was, but my PD's professor specifically suggested a textbook for people who like suffering. I wrote it down. I'd have to thumb through my notes to remember what book it was, though. That's true, Leo, yeah. I just specifically avoid your chat, and I go to everyone else's chats. Chat, anyone know any good books / sites with good proofs for the inverse function theorem and the implicit function theorem? Oh. Yeah, keep his channel so you don't get passed in subs. That's just like, so I would think of just analysis books in general, right? For syntax's question. I don't know of good analysis books though. I think that'll be a better question for chat. Good intro book on ODs for an undergrad. It's another good question. Stupid Baka book for multivariable calculus skips the proofs for Lagrange multipliers. Oh, cool. Well, that's a late first. Congrats, Jed. For differential equations. My classes just use that standard, I forget, Voice de Prima. That's a really popular one. I don't know if it's like a favorite one though. Does this, surely the site has differential equations, right? God, I hate this website's UI. Ugh. I think I've heard good things about Trench. Three to go? Hell yeah. Okay. So funny, I was just using the open textbook library. I like to recommend it because these books are free and legal. And they're university level textbooks. And I want to say Trench sounds really familiar. There are other options too, though. And so it might be worth like taking a look at the table of contents of a few of them and seeing which one kind of jumps out to you. If 5 to 10 pages in and you'll quit, decide you'll read it later, fair enough. Me, when people ask me what kind of hole to dig, I heard there's good things about trench. And so I did see an analysis book. Oh, this is gonna be too big. Let's see if any of these cover. Oh, here's another trench. Inverse function theorem. You have to pretend to be a banana taped to the wall, see many people try to eat me, and then eat them back. Godspeed. Or how many people paid like $1 million for you, or whatever. Aha! 394. So yeah, I don't know if this is a good explanation, but it's at least a different one than probably whatever one you have right now, at least. Hey Echo, how's it going? But yeah, I've never learned the proof for it myself, actually. I've used it, but I never proved it, so I don't know. A good resource. Oh, I mean, this is perfect for MIT OpenCourseWare, Echo. I haven't taken a specific class for abstract algebra off it, but there's going to be a lot for algebra. Modern algebra. Group theory, ring theory, field theory. This seems like the typical abstract algebra type of course. Or we should get rid of the graduate classes. Algebra 1. Is this like... Oh, no, that is abstract algebra. Okay. So yeah, I would choose a course off here. I don't know of a particular one that's good. Wait, Artin. He's written an abstract algebra textbook, I think. That name sounds very familiar. Yeah. So I guess I would probably go with Artin just because of the name recognition. But there's options. Yeah, MIT OpenCourseWare is awesome. If you need help finding the book, let me know. I bet I could find it. As long as you're okay with the PDF. But yeah, these are great because sometimes they have the actual videos of the lectures, which is the best thing. But even if not, like there's all the assignments and like the readings to go through like a normal like class. Oh, cool. And there's like handouts. But yeah, String has linear algebra classes. I don't know if he has regular algebra classes. So like you can like there's like a download course button that'll let you get everything at once. But basically you would have to find the textbook on your own probably. Or like they probably don't provide you the textbook. But you can basically work through the course at your own pace. And this is what the course would cover. So like do these readings and then try the exercises, or just do the assignments instead. But yeah, these are all like PDFs. Presumably there's going to be solutions too. I would hope so. Probably in the book. No worries. Actually, let me do one more thing even. IT, OCW, abstract algebra. Aw, man, do they not have lectures here? That'll be a shame. I guess not, but if you are into videos, I bet someone else has video lectures covering abstract algebra. Unfortunately, MIT doesn't seem to have any. Oh, would you look at that? Yeah. Hey, Aeneas. That's kind of cool. I wonder what functionality these courses have. Like, are they just glorified playlists, or can you do something more with them? They kind of seem like glorified playlists, but I hope that there's more. Oxford Course Archive. I might have seen this. Let me see, though. Oh, yeah, I think I've seen this. Yeah, it is cool. Like, I have it listed in my Discord as a resource. I think I do. Oh my god, there's so many things to click through. But yeah, that's an option too. Really? You're getting half the results? If it's region locked, that's really stupid. And in that case, maybe Oxford is a better bet. Oh, yeah. How many times do I need to hit the back button? There we go. Okay, I searched abstract algebra. The only filter I applied was in level for undergraduate. Yep. Those are my numbers. 2. Really? That's crazy. I never knew that they region... I assume it's like a region locking thing. Huh. The art. Okay, that's good. Hey, not Chris. Let's stop using AI. You always say that, but you never say what. Oh, you get the same Hamiltonian dynamics? Huh. Maybe it's. I don't know what else it could be. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the important bit is still there for Echo, though. The art and course. I wonder if the other one... Actually, well, the other one can't have video lectures, so we already searched on the YouTube channel. Instructor Insights. Oh, did you have like an extra filter? Really? After algebra yields more results? That's kind of weird. Why? That makes me really curious how search algorithms work. I guess because it counts for partial matches too. So like it could contain abstract or algebra. Yeah, I guess. Okay. And if you put it in quotes, it would do the entire phrase. Hey, that really reduces it. Hey, Shivansh. Okay. So yeah, if anyone has any questions or things that they want to like talk about, let me know. I guess I'll just go back to doing linear algebra reading. Hopefully at some point we'll actually get to the exercises. I don't know how much more reading we... Oh, cool. We're almost there. Oh, I'm not doing that. That's stupid. Hey, Desson. We'll get to that when we get there, though. You don't really want to go over linear algebra again, but linear algebra is actually so goated. Yeah, I mean, I'm learning it now just because I like it so much. But to get an introduction to abstract algebra, I don't think you really need any linear algebra, or at least hardly any. Like they probably use linear algebra as examples of groups and rings and stuff. But you can just get right into abstract algebra, I think. Concrete algebra is important for building foundations. True. Awesome, Echo. Glad to hear it. And all your tests went well, right? I remember hearing about some of them. Bilinear forms, spectral theorems, that's a summary of linear algebra. Well, I want to get there for sure, but I'm not very strong on the fundamentals, so I don't want to just jump straight to it. Take linear algebra. Yeah, that's kind of the shame of linear algebra. Like, unless you appreciate the ideas for their own sake with linear transformations, you don't realize how important it is until like a year or two later in the degree. You'll explain how to find equation of locus. Tomorrow's my exam. That kind of depends on the problem, Shivansh. If you can give me an example, maybe I can. LM are now solving open math problems. Yeah, Suhas. It could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. It's hard to judge right now. Hey, Mithy. What I hope happens is that AI becomes a tool to help mathematicians, and that like our skills complement each other. humans and computers, but if AI entirely replaced mathematicians, I think there's like a danger in humans losing that knowledge. Straight line coordinate geometry. I need an actual problem, Shivan, because otherwise I have a hard time knowing what exactly you're trying to learn. Good enough, just learn backwards from last page to first page. You're okay with AI, you're not okay with the companies? That's a good point too, Ysin. Like, the people making the AI aren't to be trusted for the most part. Perfect grade in graph theory, right. 1.7 probability theory, 3.0 in functional analysis. Okay. Correct some fundamental computability theory. The results will take some time. Ooh, okay. Well, nice. Suno just lost a copyright lawsuit, the largest AI music generation platform. That's probably a good thing. AI in art is, it has some parallels to math, but it's kind of a different thing. Thankfully not, Fembox. I turned off the sub-only mode, but I did change my title. And I'm hoping that helps, because I really don't want to have sub-only mode on if I can help it. So far, so good. Graham Schmidt, yeah, for finding orthogonal bases. Some would argue math and programming is art. It can be, and it will become more of one as AI gets more, it gets better and better used. Once upon a time, there's a time where humans knew a lot. Now humans are dumb and stupid. I mean, that future does exist as a possibility, I think. Like the Wall-E type of future. Companies have been found to recently been destroying original copies of large data sets, including literature? I hope that isn't that like their most prized possession though? Graham Schmidt, 2,000 yard stare. It is very tedious. It's really important, but it's really tedious to actually do it. Oh, as in they don't want original copies, as in not letting other people have it. Okay. Yeah, that's messed up. Graham Schmidt can be seen as the kernel of the functional maps in the dual map V to V star. I did not know that because I don't entirely know what that means. I do know it's generalizable. Like it's not just about vectors as in lists of numbers. Like you can use it for other types of vectors too, which makes it so important. But you lose me as soon as I hear like kernel and functional maps and dual maps. Me neither. I'm sorry. Do you mean the formula? Oh, just like I don't remember the formula for Graham Schmidt, but it's like actually executing it is really tedious, right? Because you have to take a bunch of dot products. You know what book has it for sure? Strang's book. Or Strangen. Also, hey Skirt, pray for what you want, but work for the things you need. Oh, that's a good fortune. Unless you just want to be a sugar baby. Then only pray. This is Graham Schmidt. Yeah, this bad boy. When the guy who solved the millennium problem turned down the reward because they snubbed his colleague. Now it's happening on a larger scale, but we're still using it. Yeah, I mean, the cat's out of the bag. It's coming whether we like it or not. Doing by hand is guaranteed sign error. True, Echo. Hey, Phobos. How's it going? About Graham Schmidt is the kernel of the thing. Oh, that's... I don't know. I don't understand all the words that Destin said. A kernel is something that's like essential, or it's. I think of it as in some way essential to something else. A kernel. Functional maps in the dual map V to V star. I would bet it's something about mapping a function, or like I don't know. It V and V star is probably like V complement or something, but I don't know. I have an idea in my head of what it could mean, but I don't actually know. No, kernel computer science is completely different. That's like the kernel of an operating system. A kernel in math is, I don't actually entirely understand what a kernel in math is, but it's a different thing. I know that much. The inevitable argument doesn't stand in organized debate. Seems pretty inevitable to me. If you want to propose a way to stop it, it doesn't involve like a revolution. Let me know. You like kernels? The only kernel I like is Colonel Sanders. So if I can get some kind of job with a math degree in the future, good luck, bunny. I'm also applying to jobs right now, and the issue that I have is mathematics is like almost too general. And Shivansh, thank you for posting an example of a problem. And it can be hard to tailor your resume to say that you're a good match for a particular job. So, the best advice I think I could give you is to have some projects. Like, for whatever type of job you think you might be interested in, do some personal projects that show that you have skills in specific like niches. Pop some sorghum kernels. Oh, cool. Kernel math is a preimage of the zero. Kettle corn piler. Owns X of the kernel of map. Oh, like a kernel is the same as a null space. Or it's basically like the generalized version of a null space. Right. I remember that now. Wasn't logical category. I mean, I don't know about. I guess not Chris. I don't know. I think it's switching to computer science for math. You do math on your own time. That's fair too, Bunny. In my opinion, you should study this thing you're interested in, and you can definitely sell a math degree. I'm just not very good at it personally. And by sell, I mean like get in the door when applying to jobs. But you would probably have an easier time with computer science. But I don't know. I feel like you should follow your heart first. Kernel loading map is 0, the map is automatically injective. Right, I remember that now. A null space, it's exactly what you said. It's an way you learn about in like linear algebra. If you have a matrix A, the null space is all x such that ax equals 0. What am I trying to work in below? Basically data analysis and or like computational like simulation stuff. I know it is also just a kernel. It's just with a different name. Creating conflict of interest that will get you a job, make it one that the other person gets fired, not you. Okay. That's a good tip, Pressicles. You graphed it for me? Okay. Yeah, I remember now, Echo, that they are the exact same thing. Shivansh, yeah, sorry, I'm still reading the question, but what does the L mean? The family of lines? And also, this is not, wait, the pair of straight, this is like a parabola or something. Oh no, I guess it is a... What the hell is this? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if I understand the question, Shivansh. Like, what does L mean? It's a variable? Oh god, okay. So this is what this is Desmond's drawing of what the thing he said earlier means. I don't, is V star like the complement of V? I don't know. This is a bilinear operator that maps V to some field, maybe F. Is all x and v such a b vx equals 0? Oh, you say bilinear form right there. Orthogonal Graham-Schmidt. Okay. I sort of understand this. V star is a dual space. I don't know what dual space is either. Ideally, that's best. I just looking forward to spend that long in undergrad. Fair enough, Bunny. Computational Physics by Mark Newman. Ooh, I mean, computational physics sounds fun. I'll write that down and look for it later, Phobos. No tea, no shave, but breasticles is the name. Yeah, I wouldn't name myself breasticles personally, but, you know, Twitch allows it, so. Jed Levi, how do you like the current on that L? True, Jed, I love it. Sylvester's Law of Inertia. I've never heard of that. Depending on the requirements of your school, some of us may be able to get the standard in 4 years. It's really rough past 4 years. It's a peak name. Do I specialize in mathematics? Yeah, in applied math, sub G. Only means to learn enough linear algebra to understand the map of AI. I know right now it's 3 blue, 1 brown. I assume the math of AI. I mean, how long? If you want, like, the theory for AI is pretty complicated, but I bet you could do it within like a year or so. We've all wondered how Mr. B could be so smart, same time choose that name. Yeah, that's kind of amazing. You haven't, it's never been blocked. Um, two perpendicular lines. I don't think I know how to do this. Uh, Going to look into algebra in Japanese. That's not rude at all, Echo. I didn't know that you're learning Japanese also. But yeah, enjoy and sleep well once you're done. Completing the, yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking, completing the square. Like 4 years ago? Oh, cool. I wish I knew Japanese. Wiley's law of inertia, an object in motion will stay in motion until the object is a coyote. Just ran off a cliff while chasing a bird. Let's say for a few seconds, look at the camera, plummet to his death. Yeah. We're in ML math, so I can sell my soul for a 7-figure yearly salary. I mean, I wouldn't judge it. What do I do for a living? Right now, I apply to jobs for a living. But, well, for not a living, I guess. Ariga, thanks and goodbye. Well, yeah, so I understand that we can factor this, but how the hell do I do anything else in the problem? Oh, how did you get that? Is that guessing and checking, Fembox? Thank you, Subji. Two x plus y, x plus 2y. Do I agree? 2x squared, 2y squared, 2x... No, I don't think this gets the 5xy, does it? Unless you mean we have an extra factor out front, like a plus xy. Because this only gets a 4xy. Right? Am I dumb? Oh, I don't... No, never mind. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I was doing the distribution wrong. Givenchy, usually when I search for JEE things on Google, a bunch of AI generated slop comes up, and I don't really want to Google it. Proofs without words. Sounds interesting, Dessen. I'd like to spend a bit more time on this problem, but I could scroll through it later. Sathu, thanks for the follow. Okay. Have I thought about something in math? I have thought about something in math. Is that the question that you mean to ask? I thought about many things in math, actually. Oh, sorry, Suhas. The program I'm using right now on screen is called Journal++. Algebra is hard. I keep fucking up in my studies. Yep. So these two lines are not perpendicular, right? Because they would need a sign flip. Okay, what's up with the other equation? I don't know what obsidian is, Suhas. If I just say L equals 1, what does this equation look like? We get 3x, the y's cancel, the 1 cancels. We just get x equals 0. And looks at the point of intersection of two perpendicular lines. Well, x equals 0 isn't perpendicular to either of these. Obsidian software. Oh, it's one of those like mind organization apps. No, I've seen these before. I've never tried one though. The notes app on my iPhone is usually where I keep things that I want to remember. Yeah, it is breasticles, but Shivansh asked nicely, and there isn't another question that's waiting. So I'll try JE questions sometimes. Find roots of the equation, use value of x and y in that equation with L to get the value of L. After that, you don't know. Really? Bakabams. Yeah, I do like some linear algebra. If you have a question about it, let me know. When there isn't, so right now we're going to question from someone in chat, but during the downtime, I've been looking through a linear algebra textbook. Find the roots and use the value of x and y. I mean, how do we find the roots? Depend on L though. If you note taking app, keeping back to a bunch of markdowns in VS Code, fair enough. Seeing it is okay. I think L is just a parameter swill. I'm just treating it as like any real number. Yeah, and so I was thinking we could like work with this equation to isolate y. Sounds good, Bunny. I might do a video game stream tomorrow. I probably won't stream math tomorrow though. I don't know what a Zettelkasten is. L minus 1y plus x, oops, 2l plus 1x plus 1 minus l equals 0. Is that it? Oh, good to hear it, Bunny. How do you... Benlux is ahead of me because I keep getting distracted and talk about other things. L plus 1 over L minus 1x plus 1? Is that what Benlux got? Yeah, I like Factorio. Okay, that does match what Fenbox got. Factorio is really fun. I haven't beaten it since they released the DLC though. Being called a mathematician, it isn't. I don't feel like I'm a mathematician. Doesn't. Sathu, it's a lot of practice. There's no hack. You just have to keep trying and trying. Yeah, Lucas. I think there's a reason it couldn't be just 2 points. Hey, Heat Demon. Given any line you can imagine, for what L is the L line in the given line perpendicular? I guess so. So I guess this is the slope of the line, and we want to hold it so it's perpendicular to one of these two lines, and that's where Fembox got his answers from. So if you want a line that's perpendicular, you flip it and flip the sign. Like flip the fraction and flip the sign, I mean. Use this to get x by substitution? I don't know. I mean, there's not just one value for x though. Like, you said something about the roots earlier, but like, the roots depend on L. So I haven't watched many Factorio. I haven't watched Factorio YouTubers in a long time. Yeah, I would say Nilaus though. Good exams in 2 weeks during this level of math. What to do? Subcheat, you just do your best and cross your fingers, basically. There's only so much you can do. Or like, there's only so much like anyone can do in a given amount of time. So you just try your best. Oh, yeah. Nilaus. Wait, what? It says subscription. What? The translate thing is so weird. Can I turn that translation thing off? It shows up right in the chat up there. Constant vector dot variable constant vector dot variable vector equals constant. Any particular line be such a constant vector is dotted is 0. Sort of. I only sort of follow that swill. Yeah, Shivansh, I don't follow what you're saying either, but like if we need perpendicular lines, we just need to find L such that the slope of this line is flip the fraction to get 1/2 and flip the sign. So it is negative and now it's positive. And then just solve this equation for L. And same with the minus 1/2. So I think there's no other possible like answer that there could be. I don't think. Minus 5 over 2L. Says minus 1/2 plus 1 becomes 1/2. Minus 1/5? Is that what Fenlock's got? That's what one of them is. Minus 4L is equal to 1? No, minus 1. So L is positive 1/4. Okay, so Shivansh, I think these are the two answers. Like, I don't think there's any other thing that's possible. I mean, Shivansh, we can't completely get rid of X and Y just by using substitution. There's always going to be an X or a Y mixed in there. Oh, okay, Swill. So that makes sense, I think. I didn't know that the last statement was true about A1.A2, but I don't know if that's really helpful here, though. We're to just do graphically, not worry about these L values. Oh, I guess, yeah, we didn't find the actual points, did we? If L is minus 1/5, hey, Ishan. Minus 1/5. Negative 2/5 plus 1, 3/5. minus 6 over 5, x plus 1. Back propagation? I'm not sure what that is, Suhas. I'm sorry. What am I doing? I'm working on this problem at the top from Shivansh. That's the chain rule? Is it? I'd never heard it called that. It's a thing in machine learning, apparently. Oh, but it does involve the chain rule. I don't know this already, and I think this is going to be too complicated for me to learn on the spot, so sorry. What is this? This becomes 3 over 6, which is a half. When it's a fourth, that's a half plus 1 is 3 over 2. A fourth minus 1 is minus 3/4. Comes half again. Really? The same line twice? Oh, I guess it... Okay, I don't know. I'm not a professor. I don't really know what level of math this is either. It's like very difficult algebra, I guess. I'll pass that link along to Suhas. Thank you for finding that, Swill. But yeah, I guess to find the locus of points, we just set this equation equal to each of these, and then we're done. Over 2x equals 1. X is equal to negative 2/5. Minus a half x is equal to a half x plus 1. Minus x is equal to 1. So x equals minus 1. Okay, and so 1 point is minus 2/5, comma. It's minus a fifth plus 1. So 4/5. Minus 1, comma. Minus a half. I guess that's our locus of points. It's only 2 of them? I don't know. It's a curve? I don't know how we possibly get a curve. If it's not this, I'm just going to move on because I'm done with this question. If it's not this, I don't know how to do it. Oh, you did say that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I really don't know what they want then. For the way the question is phrased, I think this is the answer, but I don't know how you would possibly get an answer like that from this question. Givenchy, I'm sorry. I think I'm just gonna move on because I really I don't know. Yeah, I don't see it either, Swill. Did I make a mistake? Oh, you're right, Dessen. I was wondering why they came out with the same line. I thought that was weird. So yeah, the other point would be different, but apparently it's all wrong. So I'm not going to bother fixing that part of the work. Ishan, I don't really know what that means. Uh, let's not talk about that. That's what I'm going to move on to. Because this is an interesting title for a book, at least. Proofs Without Words. It's a proof that I can get behind. Shivansh, I'm okay. Okay, was similar to JE. Okay. Oh, was there a Martin Gardner reference? I don't see it. But oh, here it is. Many cases, the dual proof can be supplemented by a geometric analog so simple and beautiful. The truth of the theorem is almost seen at a glance. Ooh. There's only one degree of freedom by saying you want all those lines to be perpendicular to particular lines tends to take away a degree of freedom. That makes sense, well, I think. Axiom of Equality. I haven't heard of that one. My math notes? They're kind of they're physical notes to us. I can't easily show them. Uh, what was it? Do I need to go? Was it on this page? A Little Life. Okay. Not one diagram. Oh, but like Rudin is like the book though, right? I think I imagine most pure math people as not wanting diagrams. I feel like, but it's only certain types of diagrams. Seems you have a conceptual thing named X must always be equivalent to itself. So it's a tautology basically, like something that we hold as like obviously true that X equals X. I don't know if it's an actual thing in math, Ishan. Like, I guess do we actually take this as an axiom formally when we do math? I don't even know. We do rely on statements like that, I guess, but um, I think kind of the flavor the author is adding is a little bit extra. but it just comes down to x equals x, like, or 2 equals 2, as far as I can tell. Sine alpha minus beta over cosine alpha minus beta, tan alpha minus tan beta. And tips to improve math, it's just practice, Ysin. Okay, so Enderglow is asking about a trig identity. I will skim through this book, but I think I have an idea to do Enders. No, Suas, I just prefer taking physical notes. I like the feeling of actually writing something down. Enderglow wants us to verify. This identity, I hope it's actually true. I've been tricked before where people give me identities that are fake, but it seems like it could be true. The identity that I would try first is the difference formula for sine. Hey, famished. Hey, Slim. I think for sure Jesus would subscribe to your Twitch. Just find all the solutions? I mean, we're being asked to prove that this as an identity. If there are, like, only a finite number of solutions, that's a problem. Cosine beta minus sine beta cosine alpha. Cosine alpha, cosine beta. And then we just split them into 2 different fractions. Cosine alpha, cosine beta. Then not that. Those cosines cancel, those cosines cancel. And sine over cosine is tangent. Same with that. So it's no trick. It's a real identity. Oop. So I hope that makes sense, Enderglow. Fair enough, Suhas. It's kind of more cumbersome to take notes digitally. Like, you need to buy special equipment to do it. I pray Jesus subscribes to you. And like the pad that I have will be way too cumbersome to take into a classroom with a laptop and everything. Next time you go live. Oh, it's Famous just gonna make an alt. You want to do a geometrical, you have to go back to the book. Yep. You are Jesus. Think the domains of 2 sides are equal. I mean, that sounds like I'm still trying to solve the problems. Well, any fountain pens for cursive writing? Not me. Wait, that's a word. What a scam. I want my money back. Markdown plus LaTeX. Oh, that's the Chad way of just typing everything. Ishan, I've seen that, but I'm okay. Sure, with the trig identities for precalc 2. Yeah, no worries, Enderglow. Those are really tricky because there's just a lot of them. This is a wordless proof for the Pythagorean theorem. Huh. Yeah, I watched that video. It was something about like two coins rotating or something. This is a weird one. I don't really understand what any of these are doing. I I guess these are a really compact way of giving a proof, but they communicate. I mean, okay. I would need to spend a lot of time figuring out what they mean by this picture. It's what is A, B, and C here? That would be a huge help. This is more like what I would need. Huh. This is a really clever one. What the hell? I like this one. A circle? This is some weird circle identity, I bet. C plus A over B equals B over C. Yeah, I have no... That's a weird one. This one is your favorite? The Ramanujan paradox? Is that the one where like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus dot 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 equals minus 112? Triangles in two squares. The four triangles in two squares. Was that one up here? Oh, this one? Yeah, I've seen that, Ysin. It's been a while. It's a weird one. Yeah, I feel like this is... I don't remember like how you label everything, but I feel like I've seen this before too. How long is this? 156 pages? Okay. And this is an interesting, like, I haven't seen this version of Pythagorean theorem before. I guess it's for similar triangles? Also using A as the hypotenuse? It's kind of crazy. Majoring in meteorology. Need to go up to Calc 3. Good luck. Meteorology sounds super cool at Enderglow. Yeah, feel free to keep coming to me with questions, but if I'm ever not around and you need help, actual education is really good. With these types of questions too. The second person in that list. Achieve moral setting list. Sitting conceptual notes. Noise. No worries. It's good to have you here at Enderglow. From past 4 days, you say I'm units by feed. All right. Oh, well, thank you for clicking, Ysin. I'll see you around. Have a good day too. It's a meteor subject of meteorology. It's meteorology. Yeah. Not meaty, it's meteor. The rolling circle squares itself. I don't know what this is even proving. I don't know. Okay, I was mad earlier about the book including words. I don't I need some words. Like, these diagrams make no sense to me. Oh. That's a cool one for angle trisector, though. Expressing 1/3 as a geometric series gives you an iterative process to find like an angle trisector. That's a cool one. People think meteorology study meteors. Yeah, it is a confusing name. I did know that about meteorology, though, being weather forecasting. You're a real angle trisector, aren't you? It's something I read a little bit about meteorology as a kid. I never learned very much though. I don't know if you would get into this in your like studies, but in one of my classes we simulated the Navier-Stokes equation for like, and it could be used to like simulate a hurricane as far as I know, and that was one of the most fun things that I did. And so I, just for fun, I made one with like 4 hurricanes starting all together, and you get some really nice like pretty visuals. No, it probably won't be Factorial. I do want to play Factorial at some point again, but it probably won't be anytime soon. Yeah, this class was really fun, aside from how they graded things. I hated... They used an automated grading system that was the most annoying thing in the world, because it would mark you wrong if you just transposed the answer or something, or had it in the wrong order. Even if your visual was correct and you were doing things consistently. Other than that, it was a really fun class. If a black hole comes to Earth, I don't think anyone can save us if a black hole comes to Earth. Wait, I just graduated from UW, Enderglow. I just got a master's in applied math there. Oh yeah, good luck. Okay, Suhas. Yeah, that's super funny, Ender. Trisection of a line segment. Ooh. That's a weird one. The vertex angle star sum to 180? Really? Huh, I didn't know that. Oh, the trisection is useful for regular polygons, I assume? I don't imagine this one is. Maybe it is. I don't know. Viviani's theorem. Perpendiculars to the sides from a point. What the hell? I don't even know the statement. That's not a stupid question, Suhas. That you don't prove it. You take it as an axiom, actually. I guess you don't technically have to take it as an axiom, but that's... I'm not aware of... like a type of geometry. Well, you might be able to assume something else and then prove a line is straight, but normally you assume that lines are straight. I mean, well, it's actually, I guess it's more of a definition thing. If it wasn't straight, you wouldn't call it a line. Maybe that's a better answer. And so you might be thinking of like curved space and how does a straight line exist in curved space? And the answer is the definition of straight changes, basically. But at that point, what is straight, Suhas? At some point you start thinking in terms of like the shortest distance. And in a two-dimensional plane, like this straight line here, a straight line is the thing that connects these two corners with the least distance. And if space is curved, a straight line is still that shortest distance. It's just you have a new definition of straight, basically. At least that's how I think of it. Hey, Leo, I'm good. Hope you were sleeping, right? I think you said you were sleeping. Okay, this is a neat book. I personally could do with some more explanation of these, but it's cool that this exists. Don't recommend this channel, my own channel, because you think just dying to watch myself. I do get recommended myself too. It's kind of weird. What is the space that can be stretched? What, I don't know what you mean by that, Suhas. Mathematically, you can stretch any space you want, as far as I know. Oh, the trig? Okay. Let me go back up to the top. Space between me and you, right? Damn. Thought we had something special, Leo. Oh, that's what you're saying, Suhas. No, if you draw a straight line on rubber and stretch the rubber, is that even a straight line? It depends on how you stretch it. You could stretch it in a way that it's still a straight line. 27. But you could stretch it in such a way that it's not a straight line, and that's like a linear or non-linear transform. Sounds good, Leo. Enjoy. But yeah, assuming you're not curving the piece of rubber at all, like you're just like grabbing an end of it and pulling or pushing, you're then you still have like a Euclidean space, I guess. You just kind of mess with it a bit in a non-linear way. Geometry there, if correct reason for incorrectly drawn figures for the line comment. Yeah, it's a good way of saying it, Arcane. Sign of the sum. X plus y. So x plus y. Oh, what an annoying... Wow, this is... I wouldn't want to prove this. Area and difference formulas. That one's a lot quicker for the difference. Oh, I think I've seen this for law of cosines. This looks familiar. Honestly, Suhas, I don't know. We can tell that our space-time is curved, and we exist in it. We can find evidence of the curvature, and we can quantify it. So, I don't know if you are correct. Yeah, it is just like a generalized Pythagorean theorem. Huh. This one I have not seen for law of cosines. This one either. Technically, my mum is the biggest thing in the universe. Sure, why not? This one is beautiful? I'm not really thinking about it critically. It is remarkably simple, though. They're like simple looking. Compared to something like this, where you're drawing a bunch of stuff. Oh, we got some coordinates happening here. I mean, you can define anything as anything you want. That's the beauty of languages. Circle inversion? I don't think I've heard of that. Ooh, here's a crazy one. What a strange equation. Mobius transform in disguise. Oh, okay. Maybe I do know what circle inversion is. Proof by inversion. Choose an auxiliary circle gamma of radius r centered at D. Oh my god, this is too many words. Probably your S tier of geometry proofs. No, I know it's a stupid joke. You're good to us. Circumcircle of ABCD is inverted into a line. That's right. The Mobius transform can turn lines into circles and circles into lines if you set it up right. I'm still not following the other stuff, but it does seem like a nice proof. This one seems terrible with complex numbers. Okay. I might go back to linear algebraing for a little bit, though. Treating the quadrilateral outside implying fails. Or tails? Or I feel like I forget if it has a weird pronunciation. But yeah, I remember, or I know of fails, but I don't remember what it says. Additive inverse, sure. Little graph for the last problem, use Desmos. Looks at the points intersection of being all the points of both lines. It asked for perpendicular, though, didn't it? There's only, you can only be perpendicular to each of these lines once, right? You can definitely make them intersect in general, anywhere though. Uh, two perpendicular lines. These 7 yeah, I took AP calculus in high school, and I know calculus in general pretty well, so if you have a question, let me know. I did BC. It's still a neat thing you made though, Dojo. Proof. Wait a second. Do we figure out this one up here? There should only be 2 points of intersection where they're perpendicular. I found one, I messed up the other, and I didn't bother fixing it. The person who asked the question kept insisting that this is wrong. I don't see a different possible answer, though, so... Sort of. Oh, I heard there's a President Curtis, like, spinoff. That seems like such a random thing to spin off, though. Is it good? I've watched the most recent season of Rick and Morty. I think so too, Fembox, yeah. Proof by Professor Svetlana. She's one of the few in the IMO team participated with Tau. She solved problem 6 that Chow couldn't solve. Okay, I don't want to watch a YouTube video right now, but... Planning to self-study the course, he helped me with some top-notch resources. Yeah, I took the exam too. I mean, it was like over 10 years ago now, but I took it. Okay, so, For calculus resources, if you kind of old, I'm kind of old. Paul's only notes is the first thing I'll say. I wouldn't use it as your primary resource because they are just notes. They're not like comprehensive. But its strength is it gives you really practical problem solving information. It focuses on helping you solve problems concretely. It has really well chosen example problems with solutions worked out. So for actually solving problems, highly recommend this site, Paul's online notes. But since you want to self-study all of calculus, you probably want something we probably need something a little more like comprehensive. And I'll go to MIT OpenCourseWare. So MIT OpenCourseWare are actual MIT courses where all the materials have been uploaded. And you can just follow along with actual MIT courses at your own pace. So if we just search calculus, like this is just the first one, that there'll be plenty of classes, but let's click on the first one I see just to show you an example. Where is this taking me? This isn't common. Really? Okay, this is new. I don't know what's up with that, but let's try this one instead. Okay, this is a more like conventional one. The syllabus that describes like it's basically all the materials for a class have been uploaded here, so you can find the textbook and follow along with the readings, and then do the homework assignments. Same with lecture notes. And some of these even have YouTube lectures uploaded to the channel. I don't know if this one does, but some do. So yeah, those are my two top like recommendations. So MIT OpenCourseWare is like your primary thing, and then Paul's Online Notes as like a secondary helpful thing too. AP Physics C, I don't know specifically for AP Physics C, but I would honestly still just pull a physics course off MIT OpenCourseWare. Falls a president, half leprechaun, bodyguard, and some chick with bionic implants, but it's funny. Okay, it sounds random, but as long as it's funny, I guess. SK at Calc done. Oh, you suck at Calc. What's your secret? I think by now you feel way more comfortable with measure theory than with calculus. To actually understand it is tough. No worries, D7 Ed. I mean, I don't think you need to be good at calculus for what you like to study, though, Destin. Do you? I I feel like learning differential equations is a good way to get good at calculus, but yeah, that's true. It is a random show. Savia, I'll look at that question in a second. And so yeah, D7, feel free to ask me questions if you run into questions or things you're having trouble understanding. If I'm not around, you have a question, there's a whole list of people I can recommend here too. Learning backwards is good. I mean, it can be good. I didn't disagree. Savia is asking about a weird-looking trig identity. Crazy Xavier. I haven't read this yet. I'm just bringing it in here to see what it looks like. Let S be the set of all y belonging to R such that the equation this has a solution. I think you can factor that, can't you? Or maybe you can't. Okay, let me take a look at Savia's question first, because Savia asked first. Quadratic is involved for yours? Okay. Oh, so it's actually proved that my mom is the largest entity in the universe. Nice. Let me pull in one trig identity that I think we'll need. Hopefully this identity does the trick. Cosine squared x plus cosine squared x plus pi over 3 plus cosine squared x minus pi over 3. Okay, so the first cosine squared I'll leave alone. This cosine I'll apply the identity to. So it'll be cosine x cosine pi over 3 minus sine pi over 3. I'm glad Suhos squared. Same thing with this cosine thing. A half angle? That's true. Or double angle. I want to get everything to... I don't want addition inside of the argument, though. 3 over 2? Oh, thank you for the correction. Cosine x cosine pi over 3. This time plus sine x sine pi over 3 squared. Ooh, well, no. Yeah, I guess now that I'm looking at this, maybe a double angle is a better idea. I think this works too. I think this works too, and I'm going to stick with it. A double angle, I think, is slightly less work. Cosine of pi over 3. Oh my god, 1/2. Sine pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. Three-phase power delivery? That sounds familiar. I don't remember what it is, but I'll have to do that after I do this. Okay, so cosine squared x. I am hoping that we get sine squareds plus cosines. I can, maybe it's not going to go how I was hoping. 1/4 cosine squared x. From the bathroom for an exam? No, that has never happened to me. Root 3 over 2 sine x cosine x. Over 4 sine squared x. And so this multiplication should be the same thing, but that sign gets flipped. Group everything together, those two things cancel. We get, what is this going to be? 3 over 2 cosine squared? 3/4 plus 3/4 is 3/2. Good. Sine squared. And the Pythagorean identity, that's 3/2. Nice. So yeah. So it may have been a little bit easier, as people in chat were suggesting, to use this identity. I don't think it's that much easier, but it's probably a little bit easier. Phase shift term in the cosine x terms to get a quadratic in cosine. Okay. Getting back my work from the JE problem. I think the J I think I was given a wrong problem. I don't think that affects my aura. Why was I hearing about three-phase power? Because I feel like I've learned about this before, but I don't know why. What about this? Is this related to the cosine thing, Dojo, or are you just interested in it in general? I guess because of the pi over 3? Oh, and you do... oh, does it look like three-phase power? I guess it does. Maybe. Because of the phase shift. It does, yeah. Hey, Kundan. Okay, so Crazy Xavier's problem. No, I can't. Sue us. I'm gonna do math. Sorry. So my first thing, I want to turn cosine squared into sine squared, I guess. I don't quite know where this problem is going, but that seems like a good idea. It's cosine of 2x? Oh. Sorry, a lot of people make the typo that that's actually squared. So I just assumed it was squared. Once someone actually meant 2x. Savia, I would say MIT OpenCourseWare is your friend. I've been recommending it a lot today, but I'll just work your way up through physics on MIT OpenCourseWare. I'm finding the link to it right now. Cosine of 2x, something involving sine. Okay. No worries, Savia. Thank you for the question. That's it. That's the one we want. So 1 minus 2 sine squared x plus y sine x. 2y minus 7. Okay. Y sine x minus 2y plus 8 equals 0. So I guess we can quadratic formula this. And that's basically completing the square. Minus y plus or minus root y squared minus 4 times minus 2 is minus 2y plus 8. All over minus 4. Hopefully this simplifies something not terrible. positive 8 minus 16y positive 8, 64. That looks like it factors, right? 8 and 8. Hey, okay. So this thing here factors to y minus 8 squared in parentheses. Minus y plus or minus, so that simplifies to y minus 8 over minus 4. And so if you take the plus case, it's minus y plus y, which is 0. So it's minus 8 over minus 4, which is 2. Then if you take the minus case, it's minus 2y plus 8 over minus 4. And I guess we can simplify that to be 2 minus 4 y over 4 minus 2. I guess we can even say 1/2 y minus 2. Like that. Okay. So remember, we came from sine of x equals this. So either sine of x equals 2 or sine of x equals 1/2 y minus 2. This equation here, there is no x such that that's true. So we don't get any useful information from here. We kind of have to throw it away. And I think you're going to be right. In order for this one to have a solution, we need to require that the right side is between -1 and 1. So we can set up that inequality. And I guess now we work with this. So we add 2 all around. So 1 less than 1/2 y less than or equal to 3. Fair enough. Sue us. And then multiply 3 by 2. 2 less than or equal to y less than or equal to 6. So yeah, I agree with that. Crazy Xavier. I'd say that 2 and 6 themselves are included. Yeah. I hope that helps. Okay. I'm debating wrapping these up for the day here, because I am kind of tired already. I think I will. Here's $1,000. Thank you, Xavier. Gay is allowed? If people want to be gay, they should gay it up, I guess. Nothing wrong with it, as long as people are being respectful about it. Yeah, I don't know. I think that is going to be it for me for the day. So yeah, Suas, thank you for being here. Crazy Xavier, thank you too. I'm gonna cut the YouTube stream off here. I'm sure we'll look for a raid. See y'all later. Boy.